Alright guys, I got a test match here for Tournament 27 Champions. You can look up to 4 Horsemen if you need some info. I also posted a couple different things here and there about it, but basically in a nutshell, you pick a legendary creature from the 4 Horsemen format, which is the 4 symbols you'll see on either side of my Altars logo here, and it's reduced by 2, colorless, or it gets a +2/+2 counter if you cannot reduce it by 2 colorless. So it makes it for really fast fun, and you have to play minimum of 2, and it can only be the colors of your champion. So that being said, first, before we go over anything, let's go over the 4 Horsemen intro.
Greetings, old school magic blades, and welcome to the 4 Horsemen.
Alright, so you see Travis on the right, and I'm on the left. Travis is playing basically an Arborea, Millstone, Living Plains enchantment kind of deck. You'll see all kinds of stuff in there during the play. But first, I do want to show you what I'm working on here. So this is a layout of my test deck. I have played non-championship versions very similar to this, but it has all the colors in it. So this is what I call the deck, but for 4 Horsemen, except it's obviously restricted because my champion is decking Blackblade. So he has white, blue, and black. I'm sure you guys know what he is. Some people do use him for EDH Commander also. But basically, you're going to see a control element here. So I main deck 3 Divine Offerings, 4 Remove Souls, 3 Oubliettes. If you don't know what Oubliette is, basically it is phasing out a creature in play until Oubliette leaves play. Enchantments are hard to remove in this format. Boomerangs, that takes care of permanents, and I'll explain to you later. Counter spell. Coffin, moves creatures or protects your creatures. Blackblades, 2 Triskelions, 4 Spirit Links. That's both offense and defense, okay? Recall, Amnesia. Amnesia, you look at target opponent's hand, they have to discard all non-land cards. So it's a mind twist, basically. Ivory Tower for life, Fountain of Youth for life. My one-offs are Tome, Nova Pentacle, basically that redirects damage to a creature of opponent's choice. So if they're casting Chain Lightnings and Pyroblast and stuff like that, I can coffin my own creature, and they are forced to target their own. There's Greed for draw, Mirror Universe for switching lives, because this is a mana burn format, and the Abyss, which I know you guys are familiar with. You play with 4 stones, Maze of Ith, Strip Mine, Factory, and a Plains, 4 Underground Seas, 4 Scrubs, 4 Tundras, 4 Islands, and 3 City of Brass. That's my main deck. Now, the synergies with it, Trike, which my buddy Will did this altar for me a long time ago. It was my first 2 altars ever were from him the same day. And I just love Will, so if you ever see Will and you're watching this, buy him a beer. But these go into play because it says when Trike comes into play. Well, Coffin takes it out of play. So on your opponent's end step, you coffin your Trike, and it's basically worst case scenario, it's a lightning bolt. So if you can't attack anybody or do anything, it's still a lightning bolt every turn. Or it just gets bigger. You know, if you let it get bigger, it's okay, your end step, yeah, he comes into play tapped on your side when you untap it, but now he's basically a 7/7 because he has 6 counters on him. So yeah, you can see how it gets out of hand really fast. The only other thing you might be saying, hey, why am I playing deck in Blackblade and Abyss? Well, I'm doing that because I got Boomerangs. So I will play my Blackblade after I wiped your board clean, and the only thing left is my Triskelion. And I will, on my end step, or I should say on your end step, I will return my Abyss back to my hand. then I can attack you for, 8, 10, whatever, and wipe you out. So that's basically the concept, is to keep the board clean and wipe you out. The only other thing that goes along with it is you'll see Greed, Ivory Tower. That's a sick, broken kind of combo there. The only other thing is Mana Burn, so you have Mirror Universe to abuse. Fountain of Youth, you might laugh, but it's a 0 casting cost, and for 2 mana gain a life. So if you're playing against someone who's trying to burn my deck down and rush me out with creatures right away, that's how I stay alive until I decide to switch lives and make your life a nightmare. That's where sideboard comes into play. So for people who want to play the long Millstone games or anything like that, and they play Fellware Stones, this is my counter to your Fellware Stone. I do play 3 Flash Floods. Normally it's 4, but there's no Blood Moon in this particular format because we're doing Champions. It's the only kind of oddball rule that we put in there, no Blood Moon this time. So those are remove red permanents. A second Amnesia. The reason that's in there is because I play Martha's Cry. All white creatures are removed from the game. Players must draw 1 card for each white creature they control that is lost in this manner. Pretty sweet, isn't it? Yep, so I remove your entire board for 2 white mana and remove all from the game. You draw a crap ton of cards that you can't play on my turn, and then I cast one of my 2 Amnesias and wipe that entire everything that's not land out of your hand. There's Serpent Generator, which is a 1/1 poison counter. That's for people who want to hide behind things like Arborea and Drop of Honey, stuff like that, because it's not going to really affect me, because I will just keep making tokens and kill you with poison counters. So it doesn't matter. I play 2 Greater Realms, which are your Circle of Protections. Protection against black and red. Here's the 3rd Boomerang, in case I need to get an extra Boomerang in there to deal with something you have, and still have something for my Abyss. There's a Dust to Dust to remove everything. A Flash Flood, a regular Flood to tap all non-flying creatures. So if your deck is all non-flying creatures, I might put that in just to tap all your stuff down so you can't attack me. This is Lady. Target creature does no damage during combat this turn. So basically for 2 mana, she is a easy, no creature does damage. You know, she doesn't tap. So it's pretty cool. But because she's only 3, she will get the bonus. So she's actually a pretty good creature. Here's Dreamweaver, Rasputin. He is a 4/1. He is reduced by 2, so he is 2 colorless, a white and a blue. Put 7 counters on Rasputin when brought into play. You may remove a counter to prevent 1 damage to Rasputin, or add 1 generic mana to your mana pool. Did you catch that? It's 4 mana for 7. So worst case scenario, I'm getting 7 counters out of it. I'm getting a 4/1. And whenever he's untapped, which he's pretty much always going to be, it's extra mana for me. So it's a way for me to get out what I need. It's an instant Coffin or anything of the sort. Or if you want a Nova Pinnacle, I can reduce the damage and still attack you for 4. So you'll see where this combo is kind of going to if I have to, a synergy, worst case scenario. But that's basically where I'm going with the deck. And we're going to transfer out of this mode, and I'm going to let you watch a game here of practice. This is between Travis and I. My son's going to watch Bluey and hang out with me. And he was hanging out and playing the game with us, so you'll see him kind of bounce in and out. Travis and I have crazy lives. He's going to start with a Ivory Tower, which is awesome. And I'm going to start with a Tundra, which is at the moment in the glare because I'm moving things around. So that is just a Tundra. I'm going to tap the Factory and Divine Offering the tower, removing that before anything can happen. To make sure that is not in play. that's one of my nemesises. Yeah, you can tell I didn't get much sleep. Okay, that's Scavenger Folk. Yes, it is an extremely powerful card in this format. It is an artifact removal, so yes, there are a lot of artifact removal cards in this format. So at the moment, I see an opening to attack, so I'm going to just attack straight out. Now I do have something in my hand that I can take care of one Scavenger Folk with. So it's delaying me a little bit, but now I have to kind of take my time and deal with it that way. Alright, so let's see here. We got another Scavenger Folk and a maze. See, now I have a problem because now I have two Scavenger Folks out in play. So a little bit more of a challenge here. Now, I thought he was going to try and attack in here a little bit. Alright, I'm just going to pass. So we're just going to keep going back and forth here. I'm trying to find my fourth land. I have a fourth land, but I only have one thing in my hand at the moment. Now he has two Scavenger Folks. So I need to get an answer. And I saw he didn't attack. So I was like, well, let me just get one more turn out of this. But he had a strip mine. Did not expect that. I figured he would have played it if he had it. Because Factory is a one-off in this format. So there's the attack. So I was guessing incorrectly. So now I'm pushed back an extra turn. So now I have to start dealing with these guys out there because Penalhaven gives them bonuses and they'll kill me. So what I'm going to do right now is I have multiple Spirit Links in my hand, so I'm just going to play one on one of them. I want to see if he draws anything and plays any creatures out because I have a Remove Soul. So I really just wanted to play one casting cost thing to see what he was doing so I can judge. Because I have an Oubliette in hand, which removes a creature. But I need to use that for a Scavenger Folk. So now that I realize he's really in the tank and he's not getting out of it, I'm going to tap out, which I normally don't want to do, and I will cast a Oubliette and take care of that other creature. I don't mind getting damaged. So I don't mind losing life because I main deck Mirror Universe, so I can really care less if I lose life or not. If you watch the tech, I forgot to say one thing. In a mana burn format, one of my secret things is Mirror Universe is a lot more powerful than anyone thinks it is. Because your opponent will purposely, if you're at 10 and they're at 20, they will basically tap out and mana burn the living shit out of themselves. Well, on their end step, I just Divine Offering my own Mirror Universe and go up 6 life. So basically now you went from 20 to 10 or 8 or whatever you went to negate my Mirror Universe. And all I did was gain 6 life out of it, and you just did a crap ton of damage to yourself with no negative to me. So yes, there are ways around these things. That is like a forgotten combo in a burn format. So you'll see him discard a Borea there. Now I have 4 sources of color, so now I can start, now that I realize he's in a tank, I'm going to start putting on the speed here instead of sitting back with a bunch of removal and counter magic. I'm going to purposely make him kill his scavenger folk for that, because if he does not, I will just put it in a coffin and leave it in there, and he'll be in a worse scenario. Because if I get an abyss out, I can untap my coffin and make him sack his creature to abyss and still have my coffin. So there's another Borea. They're not going to help him. Again, I have ways around a Borea, which are coffin and trike combos. So I'm going to play deck and Blackblade. I know he has Maze of Ith out, but you'll kind of see where this is going here in a little bit. I'm just going to keep control of everything, and now that I know he is totally land screwed, which sucks to be him. We've all been there. I'm sorry, Travis. I hate when that happens. I don't have to sit down and worry about all that much. Now that's drop a honey. So on his turn, he can destroy my deck of Blackblade. But instead of me bouncing the maze and doing a bunch of damage, I have to bounce my own creature to protect it, which technically on his turn that dies, but or maybe not. Maybe it's when no creatures are in play. Either way, it dies out. I'm going to use my last 2 mana for Fellwarstone, knowing he can't really do anything. So I'm going to continue just to tap out and go a little bit faster here. Alright, that is a living plane. That is an enchant world that I thought was an enchantment. I forgot that was an enchant world card. But basically it makes all lands 1/1 creatures. Thanks, Pat Pat. Here. Whoop. Back off, buddy. My son's opening a drink here with me, so sorry about the little noise. But Deacon is a 5/5, so instead of me dealing 5 damage to him and having another answer, giving me some turn, there's a creature that's basically I believe he's the fog. So you'll see my hand there. I have plenty of answers for everything. I just didn't have anything reason to play them. So I'm going to attack. He's going to maze, make me untap it. I do that because sometimes people forget. I'm going to play the coffin. Again, these are practice games. They're nice and chill. If you use that Life Gain app, or the Life Gain app, if you use the life tracking app there that he's using, it's starting to use ads, and it's crazy. Currently, I use Lotus. I have not seen an ad yet, but doesn't mean they're not doing it either. But you can see where this is going here. This is getting out of control, and I'm just going to take over the game and kill him. So he's decided, let's just scoop and play another game. So we're going to go on to game number 2. These are not sideboarded. Alright, so game number 2 here. Yes, he plays 4 land tax. So that first game is just, I have no idea when you play 4 land tax and you went that many turns without drawing any. I really have no idea. But I'll play the game with you, so I'll drop a tower. I believe I had 2 Spirit Links in hand again, so I was not worried about things. I do have a Fellwarstone also. So I can just play the game long enough to get another land in play and just keep going with that route. Alright, I'm going to gain my 2 life here. And just simply pass. With 7 cards in hand, I'm just going to just gain life here at the moment. Because he's going to have to play another land. Yep. So there's a stone, so he can try and outrun my mana. I'm going to gain the life. Draw my card. Now I can play a second land, which I didn't draw another one, so I just drew. I had a city in my opening hand, but I'm going to play my stone. And just sit back again with more cards and just gain life. So right now I'm at 24. With 6 cards in hand. So I have the dice on top of my library there with a 2. That's how much life I'm going to gain next turn. Alright, so there's Living Plane. One of the cards I had in my hand this entire time is Abyss. So this is where I thought it was an enchantment, so I decided to have a little fun with everything here. My curiosity was going, hey, what happens if you play that and Abyss at the same time? So I was going to say, screw it, let's do it. And let's just blow everything up. But then I'm going to pause this for you until we fix it. But we realized after, hey, that's a world enchantment. So his world enchantment dies and mine stays. So I'm going to pause this and go to where we fix everything. Okay, there we go. So he has his 3 lands. I have my 3 lands. We're all fixed up now. I am now at 26 life. Looks like I'm going to be gaining 1 life? I think I only have 5 cards in hand. I should have fixed that dice on the table and I missed it, looks like. Yeah, it looks like I'm double checking a count. Yep, there we go. And there's one of the nemesis at the moment. There is Millstone. So I'm going to gain some life, untap, draw my card. I have a recall and 3 divine offerings. And I didn't have any divine offerings. There's my son. He's trying to tell me, give me a hug. So he's a nonverbal. He does say words once in a while, but very far in between, but he is getting better. If you guys ever buy some altars from me, that helps pay for his extra needs. And my daughter's Irish dancing. She is a gifted Irish dancer. In fact, she's in Ireland right now. No idea how I got to send her there, but without you guys supporting and helping me out buying altars and stuff like that, I would not be able to do it. So God helped me out here a little bit, and I had just enough to send her. So I sent her and my wife out with some of the dancers so they can split everything out. And they're in Ireland, and she's competing for the World Championship right now on the world stage in Ireland, which I think is absolutely amazing. And as a dad, if you have a daughter or a son, you know, you do anything for your kids. So that's my son saying he don't want them in the order. So I'm going to play agreed. He doesn't want the greed there. So I'm going to move things around a little bit, and he'll be fine with it in a second. So if you ever run into a child like that, and they are doing things and pushing and moving, and it's not them actually being mean. It's them trying to tell you something because they can't talk to you. So I'm just going to keep getting millstoned and getting my butt kicked by Millstone until I get an answer. But you can kind of see where this is going now. Now I have a bunch of extra life. Shortly I can start greeting, and the Millstone is going to be irrelevant. I'm going to draw an extra card here to see if I can draw something, but I already have something to play. That's why I only did one. So I'm going to play a Coffin. That's going to be my answer to kill him with. Oh, there's a Nova Pentacle and a Remove Soul. I already have a bunch of answers in my hand. I'm full of answers. I just had nothing to play them with. There's no creatures or anything like that, so I'm just going to start tapping them out and playing some stuff. I do have, other than Abyss, I do have Oubliette in hand, so I'm not really stressing. So I also have Remove Souls and all kinds of stuff there. He was asking about Nova, so I just wanted to show him, yes, you got Nova. I don't remember if he had all his basics out of his deck yet or not, but I believe he did. If not, he's close to it. This is my way of saying I'm making sure you're not going to mess me up with what I'm going to do to you soon. That's Amnesia. He has to discard every non-land card. So you see I only really got 2 cards, but if you notice, they would have made my day a living nightmare. So I'm glad I got him. He's responding by going, fine, I'm going to Millstone you. There goes a Recall, which I'm upset about, and a Scrub Land, which I'm also upset about. But at this point, it's really not that big of a deal. But no matter what Millstone gets, it's not fun for me, so, because I'm a mana-hungry deck. Okay, it looks like he is grabbing the last of his lands here. If this is his 2-1, then that's the last one. 3. Okay. Looks like he's out of lands at this point. I should say basics. So for the most part, what he's going to draw from here on out are going to be straight cards for card advantage. But I have a massive amount more card advantage than he does, because I have enough life. I have Greed and Ivory Tower. Now I'm going to start drawing like crazy, knowing, oh, this is me and him just realizing, hey, buddy, keep those lands. I didn't realize he discarded them. So he thought about it, and I was like, yeah, you got to keep your lands in your hand. That was my little guy. He likes my mat, so I gave him one of my spare ones next to me to play with. Alright, so he's just discarding his land for his turn there and passing. I'm going to untap. Gain 1 life. Draw a card. Now I know it's pretty much safe to do things. I'm going to play my Triskelion, because I do have another one. So if he somehow miraculously top decked a Divine Offering or something, that's fine, but I know I am pretty much safe at this moment. So he got a Factory and a Underground Sea. Factory sucks. That would have been an extra attack soon. But I don't know how much life I'm going to get here shortly. Orby has a bug here, and I will skip it for you and explain to you. Really not going to miss much here. I apologize for this also. My son knocked the table. I didn't realize it when my camera went out of whack, but the table stayed exactly the same. So there, that's his last two basics in his entire deck. So he is out of basics. So everything he draws now is going to be a non-land, or I should say non-basic land. He did not get anything to answer the trike with, which is not good for him. So remember, I had all this creature stuff in my hand. I had multiple spiritlings, I have counter magic, I have oubliettes, I have all kinds of answers. With nothing to play them on, I will now use my spiritlings on my trike, because when I untap, he's protected by my coffin. So not only does he need an answer for the life, he needs an answer for the coffin. So I'm going to start by divine offering that stone. He's going to say, hey, well, screw it. And there goes my boomerang. What I'm doing here is playing a Spirit Link. So there's Spirit Link 1. I'm going to lose a life. Play Spirit Link number 2. And you see how this is getting out of hand real fast. So I'm going to attack for 4. I'm going to gain 8. I don't actually know how much life I'm at the moment. I believe 40 is an accurate number. And you see there where it just locks up on its own. It is not the camera. It is not my computer. It'll happen to all kinds of people. So I'll walk you through the plays here for a second, because you'll see me track them. I'm really not going to do much at the moment. What I'm doing right now is tapping out all my black sources from here, just basically to draw insane cards and get insane amounts of life. So he top decked a land tax, which is one of the negatives to land tax. When you already have your lands and you're out of control and you're just getting outpaced, land tax is not going to be a card. It's basically a dead card to you. So there's the attack. He's going to go to 14. I'm going to go to somewhere around 48 at the moment. I'm going to pass turn. And I believe this is where on his end step I start using greed to just draw as many cards as possible, just to ensure that I have this game completely locked down. So you'll see me lose a bunch of life there. Unfortunately, you won't watch me do anything because I didn't realize the camera was locked, and neither did Travis. He didn't realize my hand was on the side. I'm talking everything through and explaining everything I'm doing here. So I'm going to pause this and fix it for you. Alright, so you missed basically Travis playing some lands and passing. And you'll see how I have 3 Spirit Links on my trike. I'm way more than 75 health, but basically I just gained an extra 12 life. And I stopped adding dice because I ran out, and he stopped messing around with his phone because it didn't matter at this point. But at the moment, I have a Blackblade, which is pretty huge. I have an entire handful of removal, counter spells, all kinds of crazy stuff. So let's catch up here. Sorry about that little glitch. If you ever have that, all you have to do, if somebody realizes it, you just have to refresh the browser. There's nothing wrong with your machine or anything. It's just the website. So just refresh it. I'm not a fan of this site. I recommend never using it. But it does allow you to do some pretty cool stuff with the backgrounds. So there's Living Plane, which kills my Abyss. But I'm okay with that. If you haven't figured it out, I had a boomerang in my hand. So I was just going to boomerang to my hand anyway, but it is better to kill it, and he can stop me from attacking now. But he still needs to answer the coffin, because it will kill him. Now, what I just played off camera, which I didn't realize because it's curved, is just a Maze of Ith. So I'm going to go ahead and attack with a whole bunch, go into kill, and he's going to play Holy Day, which is a white fog. No creatures do damage. So what I was trying to figure out is exactly how that read. It's during combat. So I could ping him for 3 here. So basically when I untap, he's dead. No matter what. Now I do have another trike in hand. But from what he looked like, it looked like he had a removed soul. So I wanted to make sure I had enough stuff in hand. So I decided, because I'm out drawing him, that I want to make sure that I draw into my mana drain here shortly, and everything will be okay. So I didn't want to risk my only other trike to a remove from game card or something like that, because there are combos with Cry, which basically it's another white card. It's extremely cheap. It changes your opponent's creatures, as many as you want, to whatever colors you want. So you change your entire opponent's side of the board to white, and you remove all their cards from the game. Or I should say, all their creatures from the game, leaving you with a ton of creatures and them with no creatures. You'll see all the answers there. I had all kinds of crazy stuff, and I'm counting up because technically right there I was going to greed. So you'll see the mana drain, another oubliette, and another spirit link. So there's the game. Again, I don't know how much life I actually had, but that was a test game. I was seeing how the champion did with me because I wanted to use deck Blackblade, and I wanted to see if I could hold up against some of these others. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Happy holidays to everybody.